And you guys are recently talking about Mahomes on the podcast about and using the term GOAT, which is thrown around a lot. But you obviously were talking about Tom Brady in the same breath and this dynasty that Mahomes had. Are we throwing around the GOAT term too much? And do you have an opinion on not just talking about the GOAT or who the actual GOAT is?
I hate these debates so much. It's probably why I'm not on these shows sometimes.
Right.
I can't do the hot take stuff. I met with my agent recently, and
that actually kind of shocks me.
The hot take stuff, I can't. The yelling back and forth. I want to have first things first is like the perfect show for me. Like that would be great, right? Like those guys respectfully talk about sports. Yeah, they get after it. They argue. They have different opinions, but there's respect level between those guys. I can't be in a show when we're just like yelling back and forth just to make noise. I just can't do it. I have kids that do that. I'll pass on doing that on television. And so it's difficult to kind of see myself ever in that role. I even forgot what you asked me because I was talking about. I thought about all those shows now that I just can't.
Now you're just upset. The goat debate.
Oh, the goat stuff. Oh yeah. So okay. So part of this. Okay. So like, the thing what we do in the media and fans do, and I'm certainly a fan of sports, is we can't appreciate something unless we label it something, right? Like we can't say like Mahomes is this and that, and he's this good without saying he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
We always have to put a label on something, right? And that always frustrates me because, I think you can say that Tom Brady's the best quarterback to ever play, but you can also, I think, make the argument, and some people will, like Dan Marino might have been the most talented quarterback to ever play, right? The way he can throw the football. But Patrick Mahomes has all of those things at once. And he's never going to win 7 Super Bowls. I'm sorry, Chiefs fans. I don't think he's going to win 7 Super Bowls. 3 obviously is great. Maybe he wins 4 this year, and I think there's a little bit of a roster retool on offense. But like we can appreciate Patrick Mahomes for how good he is without trying to compare him to Tom Brady. I mean, I think they're both different type of players too. Obviously, Mahomes, his arm talent is again one of the best of all time. His ability to move in the pocket, he's always faster than the guy chasing him, which is a remarkable trait. He's never like you time running a 40. He's not going to break any records, but he runs by everyone else. When guys try to tackle him, he's always running past them. It's pretty incredible. That wasn't Tom Brady's team, and early in Tom Brady's career, they won by defense. This last year, Chiefs obviously won more of a defensive style than Mahomes' first couple of Super Bowls. But Mahomes is incredible, man. Like the stuff he does in the field, you don't find players being able to do that. And you look at like the clutch factor, right? Like in these big moments, how he plays. And the Chiefs did something last year that I just didn't think was possible, which was basically, in the NFL, it's so hard to do this, where you just show up for the postseason. Other sports, we've certainly seen that happen, right? Whether basketball certainly has happened, right? Where teams sort of coast and then the postseason happens and they turn into a different team. Baseball is a little more difficult, I think, to do that, but especially with the way it's happening with the one seeds getting knocked off every year, it's certainly possible for, teams sort of lower in the lower, wildcard teams to make those deep runs in the postseason. Football, it's almost never that way, where you just sort of coast through the regular season, you figure it out in the postseason. Now, they figured it out about week 16 and week 15, 16. But what they did last season has really never been done before, where you just sort of coast and then just show up for the postseason. And they have the hardest postseason of any Super Bowl champion. They beat 2 1 seeds, a 2 seed on the road, and a 6 seed, obviously. It's Mahomes, man. Like the defense was great last year, but again, they go back to what I said about Eli, the confidence of playing with that guy makes everyone play a little more free. And we don't have to compare him to the best of all time. Like we can agree that LeBron and Jordan are both the best at what they do without saying one or the other was the best of all time. Like I think it's so silly that we boil down arguments to that.
I'm right there with you. I think of this scenario like you're just trying to watch the game and there's always that guy on his like 4th beer who's like, you just say, oh, he's an incredible quarterback. And you see the eye and he's about to be like the GOAT. And then he wants to just debate with you. And then that's how these shows are born. Anyways,